Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of your show, Up to Date. Today we're going to talk about cell phones, the cell phone manufacturers, and the market in whole and in general, and how the effects of the big competition we have today has on these cell phone manufacturers and their view of the future to consumers and what they can promise for us all. Before we dive into the topic, we'd like to go to our first report for today. I'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking today about cell phones and the future of cell phones, and we are joined here today with a special guest from BlackBerry, who is Mr. Mohammed Al-Miflih, who is the Senior Director of Product Management and Services for BlackBerry in the Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing us here. Appreciate it.
Now, what the first report we just saw was maybe an overview and maybe some statistics about the Gulf and the Middle East. But before we ask what the Middle East and how important it is to cell phone manufacturers, maybe the first question people might ask is, what is the future? What is the latest developments at BlackBerry?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I think it's an exciting time for us, for BlackBerry. We are moving the company forward, transforming the company into the right direction. So over the past some time, we have been focusing on transforming the company into the right direction. We have a wholly new senior leadership with the CEO, Mr. John Chen, and we are focusing on our enterprise, where the core of our strengths, and as well we have introduced a list or a number of devices based on the operating system BB10, which is utilizing QNX technology, or the OS, which has been existing for over 30 years. It's very reliable, very robust. It's used in the nuclear plants, in the financial industry, in the automotive industry. It's a very solid operating system. We have introduced since then a number of BB10 devices based on the all-touch and the QWERTY with a keyboard, and as well they have the hybrid touch, which is combined both the keyboard and the touch. So since the leadership has joined, so a lot of they have articulated the strategy and the future and the roadmap for the company, which should move it forward in terms of stabilizing in 2014 financially, and in the fiscal year 2015 turning the company into a positive cash flow and even breaking even, and then turning the company into profitability. The company is adopting a new strategy in terms of its inventory to ensure that this is turning into profitable. Further, we have been always strong in the enterprise and security aspect of that, and that's taken us, paving the way forward in terms of ensuring we provide and focus on handsets, enterprise, QNX, and BBM. BBM is known for a long time, especially in the KSA market, that it's an application or a platform they love to build their social networking. So BBM is helping to build communities, as well ensuring that it's the premier messaging for private social networking and for social messaging as well in that. So we have a lot planned. We as well, during the MWC, we have unveiled a new smart or a flagship smartphone device called BlackBerry Classic, which is combined the power and of the BlackBerry 10, as well the efficiency and the design of the BlackBerry Bold, which is the KSA consumers love to use, which is now combined the actual physical buttons and the trackpad. The physical buttons and the trackpad coming back, along with the power of the BB10. In his first 90 days, Mr. John Chen, the CEO of BlackBerry, have listened to customers and identified that the buttons and the trackpad is an essential part to ensure that we provide a productivity tool.
I think a lot of people really want these buttons
Yes.
because it makes it typing faster and much easier.
Definitely, definitely.
And now you talked about KSA and how BlackBerry is pursuing this market. What is the general, maybe the general idea to maintain the stability in the Gulf countries?
If I can give you some statistics for KSA. For KSA, we take the BBM. For the consumers and users of BBM and the KSA, penetration rate is about 99%, which is almost every user have a BlackBerry uses a BBM. Further, based on the latest JFK report, BlackBerry is the number 3 in the KSA market there, as the number 3 smartphone device, and number 2 in the Middle East in general there. So we are making a lot of initiatives there and a lot of work. We are working very closely with our carriers, with our partners, distributors, and ensuring we reach out to our consumers and as well attracting new customers with the power of the BlackBerry 10. As well, we are engaging closely with our enterprise customers. If we talk about the enterprise, we have BlackBerry is known to be the strongest in the enterprise. It's, as a matter of fact, it's the only provided MDM solution, or the only MDM provider, and has provided to the Department of Defense for the USA, and the only device allowed to be used at the Pentagon. And as well, 7 out of the 7 of the G7 governments that are utilizing are our customers in the enterprise. So we have a lot of experience in terms of as well providing the security, the integrity, as well in terms of the collaboration, communication, productivity. That's all aspect and strength will ensure that we are able to take the company forward, attracting more companies by offering them all these features and services as well.
And I think you mentioned privacy and stability, and maybe I think one of the major issues today is maintaining this care for customers' privacy, because with the recent issues happening all over the world with certain companies and everywhere online, I think this is a very big issue and people really go towards this kind of
Definitely, we do find out that our customers, especially in KSA and around the world, privacy makes a big difference. So I don't have to have your phone number to be able to chat and communicate with you. We put control in your hands to be able to allow, to give the permission to delete, or to allow me to communicate with you. So it's all about immediacy, trust, privacy, and be able to build private. And we want to make sure that the BBM is the premier private social network in messaging, and where it becomes the #1 choice as well.
You just mentioned the QNX. I just want to make it sure. The QNX is a hardware model, a software?
Yeah, QNX is the operating system. This is the operating system actually that powers BB10. This is what our devices BB10 utilizing in our. This is, by the way, this is the Z30. This is our latest BB10 device. It's a 5-inch display, and some of the technology was developed there. And what we keep talking about, and we always talk about the hub. The hub is the center of your communication and notification, where it has your private email, your corporate email, your Facebook, your Twitter, your BBM, your calls, etc., all in one place. You don't have to hop between one place to another to be able to find out. All the notification comes to only one place for you. You can actually go back and forth if you want to just look at any specific in BBM, will give you that specific communication only there. So this is how we simplify the utilization. So if you notice, I utilize the swipe up and to be able to go to hub and be able to go to applications. If you notice, I have what we call here the active frame area. You can have up to 8 active applications at any given time. So you don't have to close an application to open another application to be able to continue your tasks. So intelligently, application communicate with each other in the background as well.
Multitasking machine.
Basically, yes, on that.
So in recent times, there has been a lot of maybe competition with companies like maybe Samsung, maybe HTC, and LG, all Android powered, and in a big competition.
Yeah.
What do you think the future for smartphones is, and what do you think the options that the consumers would want in their phones?
Obviously, the consumers very intelligent now. They are tech savvy. They know what's best for them. So all customers want things to happen. They want to be able to have access to their email. They want to be able to have access to their browsing, to their social networks. They want reliability. They want robustness. As well, they want the applications to work. So security becomes as well as a very big factor as well. So BlackBerry's strength is in security as well. So the security is not built only in the software. It's built on the level of hardware and the software. They work with each other. So what differentiated BlackBerry, that you have security at all levels, rather than having with the other platforms to where you have different components has to sit in each other to be able to communicate to provide. So the foundation exists already with BlackBerry in terms of the security there. So definitely that consumers no longer is settled for just having a smartphone or a device, but they want the productivity, they want the collaboration, they want the speed, they want to have all the information at their fingertips as well.
Now, one of the major big events, I think we have a report that highlights companies and what they have done in the Mobile Congress, of course. Has been an event that happened, I think, 2 months ago in Barcelona. We have a report. We'll check it out for the highlights of the show. For people that don't have any idea, we'll be right back. Right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with a short report for the Mobile World Congress.
In our case, Blipper has evolved augmented reality from turning the interaction into a one-way broadcast, which it was previously. So it was about having an experience before which was impressive. However, the consumer wasn't really able to go past that point, nor was the advertiser in that case able to extract information. What we're able to do is turn that one-way broadcast into a two-way communication. So the advertiser is able to extract data back from the consumers and effectively learn more about them and communicate to them in a better way following that.
Mobile World Center, we are working from a few months ago, and they are invited to us to do our meetings here. We think this is a real chance to the group to engage people, to meet us and be part of this amazing initiative.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are joined here today with our guest, Mr. Muhammad Al-Mifleh, who is the Senior Director for Product Management and Services for BlackBerry in the Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey. Welcome, of
Thank
course.
you.
We just saw maybe a brief highlight about the Mobile World Congress. What is the Mobile World Congress in your experience?
Yeah, I mean, Mobile World Congress is becoming one of the big conferences around the world, and it kind of brings together all the companies to bring their technology, their plans, as well be able to share it with customers, with carriers, with partners as well. So it's a ways of communication, and it's always effective having this face-to-face. It's always, bring the latest and greatest of the technology. As a matter of fact, BlackBerry was part of this latest Mobile Congress, and we have made a couple of very important announcements there. I think one of them already alluded to, which is the latest, what we call BlackBerry Classic. It's going to be the flagship smartphone that combines the power of BlackBerry 10 along with the design and efficiency of the Bold devices, where it has the buttons or the physical buttons and the trackpad. It's gonna have the biggest display, 3.5-inch and a QWERTY keyboard from BlackBerry, and that's planned later on this year. As well, we have announced within the enterprise. Enterprise is our core strength, and this is actually the center of gravity for BlackBerry there. So we have announced the next generation of the BlackBerry Enterprise Solutions, which is BES 12, which is going to combine all the previous and the new generation of enterprise, and to be able to manage multi-platform, to be able to provide the right security, to be able to offer the companies to build application or enterprise-grade application, and be able to utilize one application we can use within the private enterprise infrastructure, and as well with the friends, family, and loved one as well. So as well, we have introduced a new program called Easy Pass that will allow, we give a license to the customers to be able to exchange their license between the March till January of next year, which will give them, we have introduced 2 tiers, the silver and the gold, and to kind of simplify our pricing tiers, and that will be able to exchange their license for the previous BS or even the competition MDM, and give them as well support, technical support and training, etc. there. So we are growing, expanding, and focusing on our strength in the enterprise, which is, has the best security exist in the marketplace.
Now, one of the most common things people say today is BlackBerry, maybe BlackBerry is going out of the race, leaving smartphone manufacturing and focusing on services. Is there any truth to that thought or no?
We'll see. The company is going through focus on itself, focusing on the strength, like I mentioned, in the enterprise security. I mean, if you're thinking, like I mentioned, that major governments around the world, the G7 country governments, the Pentagon standardizing and utilizing a BlackBerry enterprise solution. If we think about the BBM, that we have introduced the multi-platform, which is BBM can be used on the Android and iOS. So we have about 113 million registered BBM, and we have about 85 million BBM users on that. So we're expanding. We're making the BBM the premier private messaging or social networking aspect in there. So the company is rebuilding itself, focusing on its strength. We have announced we're going to be bringing some devices later on this year and gaining the trust of our customers. We continue to listen to the customers. We continue to get feedback. Definitely, we appreciate their feedback and then their input in there, which is we're going to pay them back for their loyalty with the right services, with the security that they've got to use to enjoy, etc., and with the right devices, and continue to enhance. Like, for example, we have introduced the BBM channels. Currently, there's about 500,000 channels, and that's building communities there, building the private networking as well, bringing the brands together in there. So we continue to introduce a lot of these features, a lot of these services. So like we mentioned, what is the consumers looking for in a smartphone? They want, something reliable, something secure, private, the immediacy in terms of the communication. So it's all about communication. They want to be able to reach each other whenever they can, with the privacy as well. And we can offer and provide all that stuff to our customers.
But people might answer you that and tell you maybe if BlackBerry focused on only services, maybe they would be widespread even more, and maybe if they focus on these kind of services for other platforms.
Yeah, so we do have, QNX is very strong with BB10, have Again, it's been since we launched it January of last year. So since then, we have introduced about 5 or 6 devices. Based on that, it's been very strong. It's been gaining market. We have been attracting customers, not just through the existing BlackBerry, but from the other platform, because they have missed whatever BlackBerry can provide them. Now they can come to a strong, reliable platform that can give them the privacy they want, the productivity they want as well. So we are providing both the handsets. There's a big market there still for devices and the handset, as well continue to expand in our services in terms of the enterprise for our corporates customers, as well in terms of the social networking for the BBM. And let's not forget about QNX, even though it powers the BB10 devices, but yet it's an OS, it's embedded in a lot of the industries. Like we mentioned, it exists in the automotive industry, it exists in the nuclear plants, and as well in the medical industry, financial industry. So we do have the opportunities to develop and expand into the machine as well. So there's a lot of venues of opportunities. There is a lot of growth ahead of us. There's a lot of good news happening, continue to grow, and a lot more to come.
Well, in these certain times, there's a lot of changes happening in the world of technology. Companies acquiring other companies, companies purchasing maybe other companies that have a certain new kind of technology. Where do you think the future do you think the smartphones will be here always? For example, wearable devices are gaining a lot of traction these times. Do you think there's a market?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the smartphones will always be there because the smartphones is the center of your productivity, that you will always want to have access to the email. You want to have the big screen. You want to be able to browse and be able to do your social networking. So definitely there are other gadgets, there are other technology will come around, but the center will continue to be, your smartphone.
So is there maybe a future for BlackBerry and wearable devices?
We always explore options. We always ensuring that we can provide value and provide the right services, and we just want to make sure that what we provide, it adds value. Definitely we look and we have the research and the development in looking into whatever technology that of relevant and add value as well.
Okay. We have another report.
Okay.
Report. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
In 1973, a dozen eggs cost 45 cents, a gallon of gas cost 40 cents, and the first mobile phone call was made. That call changed everything. The way we work, the way we live, the way we connect. In 1988, CTIA invented TDMA technology, and the mainstream mobile phone market was born. Since the beginning, the market has evolved rapidly. So what does the mobile future look like? By 2015, there will be 4.9 billion global mobile users. That's over 2/3 the world's population. Connections are multiplying. By 2015, there will be a mobile connection for nearly every person on Earth. And the speed of the average mobile network connection will be 10 times faster. Smartphone speeds will quadruple by 2015. Increased speeds will make it even easier to view mobile video. By 2015, mobile video will make up over 2/3 of all mobile data traffic, making it the largest traffic driver. More users, enhanced devices, accelerated speeds, and the tremendous growth in video means more mobile data traffic. Exabytes of traffic. 1 exabyte equals 1 trillion megabytes. By 2015, annual mobile data traffic will reach 75 exabytes, the equivalent of 19 billion DVDs or 536 quadrillion text messages. That's 75 times the amount of total global IP traffic generated in the year 2000. The network will be bigger, faster, and more accessible. The mobile world is growing at an extraordinary rate. More ways to connect, a more mobile way of life. Together.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today joined with Mr. Mohammed Al-Mifleh, who is the Senior Director for Product Management and Services for BlackBerry in the Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey. We are talking, of course, about BlackBerry and its future, and smartphones in general, and the future of smartphones in terms of technology. We just saw a little report about how smartphones have been widespread today, and one of the big maybe statistics that maybe shocked some people is that 70% of internet users today use the internet through their phone.
Yes.
How do you think this affects the smartphone race?
Definitely. I mean, customers now and the professionals, they are on the go all the time. They travel, they go to places, they want to be able to have access, they want to be connected all the time. So browsing is a key for them. And this is why BlackBerry is in terms of the browsing and internet. So we have developed this in the BB10 to be able to kind of enhance the experience to where people can have access, to browsing and have the right experience in terms of the browsing. Definitely that a percentage does not surprise me, as people want to have access to the email, and this is the center of their communication. Obviously with the smartphone.
But for someone like me who might maybe call himself a little bit old school, I always preferred using internet through the PC. But with certain new advancements, I think the internet is getting close to what a PC can do on other devices.
Definitely, the speed is there, the enhancement, the be able to access and reach out. So like we talk about BB10, given in the hub, when you get your notification, it gets there. If you want to browse, it'll be able to take you there, and actually in the background it'll go and search for the companies, for individuals, and to be able to get you the information at your fingertips. So yeah, I think the browsing experience came a long way from where it used to be. Definitely people like me and you used to I guess depend on the PCs, but I think it's no longer the case now.
So one of the maybe big questions is there a pursue for BlackBerry to have a certain tablet under their name?
So currently we are continued focus on our smartphones and developing the BB10 platform and continue to develop the experience. We continue to explore options in all aspects with that. So in the meantime, we have not announced anything in that regard.
And do you think, I mean, the monetization today, I think it's prevalent in a lot of smartphones and a lot of applications. How is it handled in BlackBerry?
Yeah, so we have, if I can speak a bit about BBM. BBM is very popular, it's spread all over. We have introduced the cross-platform, all multi-platform. So now you can use BBM on the Android and iOS. And like I mentioned, there's about 85 million BBM users between the BlackBerry and cross-platform. So how we monetize this? So this basically we are exploring a lot of options. We are exploring what we call the virtual goods, and as well we are looking into the utilizing the strategy of our BBM channels. So now we have reached about 500,000 BBM channels. So we can utilize the brands there and be able to look at other ways. So we will be announcing pretty soon some of the ways how we're going to monetize, BBM utilization there. We continue as well to offer a lot of the services. So we have like I said, the BBM channels. You get the location sharing, the BBM voice and video as well. And as well, we have announced or produced a feature, the Dropbox for integration and location, the BBM stickers. So all these added features continue to enhance the experience in there. Definitely will help as well with the monetization as well.
And do you think the BBM software can be put other places other than maybe Android or iOS?
Yes, we have announced we will bring this in other platforms as well. So we'll continue to expand as well. It's about having the mass as well. So we have identified some others that will be able to offer BBM as well on that.
For me, I think if BBM, if it was, I think it's a huge name, and I think people respect BBM as a private and maybe business-wise also chat and maybe communication service. Nothing is chat anymore because, of course, we have video, audio, and everything else. But I think if the possibility of it being something as a software, as a big software, like you can find it in PCs and laptops and and other devices is a very big deal.
Yeah. Let me just mention something as well. We have announced we'll bring what we call EBBM, Enterprise BBM, which is a secure, or we call it BBM protected within the enterprise arena, that will provide as well another level of security for the enterprise. In terms of be able to utilize this BBM on PCs, etc. So like I said, we're always exploring options. Stay tuned for future announcement on some of the new features or development.
And of
we'll
course,
continue to do that.
if you got the idea from me, of course you have to.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Of course.
Definitely.
There's a certain acronym that I would like to talk about, which is BYOD. But
Yes.
I have a little report, maybe explain it a little bit, and we'll be right back to talk.
Definitely.
So we'll go to our report, ladies and gentlemen, that will explain BYOD to you, and we'll be right back.
Thanks to technology and changes in corporate culture, the line separating people's work and personal lives has blurred. People are not just looking for flexibility in where they work, but also how they work. This means using the devices, applications, and services they prefer for both work and personal use. BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device, is a global trend where corporations provide the access and support users need to become more productive and innovative using their own devices. Cisco IBSG conducted detailed financial analysis to understand the full range of benefits and costs of BYOD. Here are some of the financial insights that business and IT leaders should consider. Currently, the United States leads in BYOD use, but by 2016, China will claim the top spot with 166 million devices. Worldwide, the trend is growing. Mobile employees who bring their own devices are willing to invest their own money in their own technology. BYOD delivers productivity gains, more than 80 minutes per week in the United States, for example, plus work-style flexibility and hard cost savings. However, to get the most value from BYOD, companies need to stop reacting and develop a more strategic approach, which we call comprehensive BYOD. By not taking a comprehensive approach, most companies today are leaving an average of $1,300 on the table for each mobile user annually. With comprehensive BYOD, total annual value per mobile user grows to more than $1,600. BYOD is not just about smartphones and tablets. In fact, laptops contribute nearly half the estimated value of a comprehensive BYOD approach. While most employees prefer BYOD, nearly a third do not. When we looked at why corporate users prefer company devices, top reasons included better access to the company network and applications, and better IT support. By doing BYOD right, companies can move more corporate users to BYOD and help them become happier and more productive.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with Mr. Mohammed Al-Mifleh, who is the Senior Director for Product Management and Services for BlackBerry in the Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey. Of course, we just, before this report, we talked about the acronym BYOD.
Yes.
And we just saw a report that explained it a little bit, but if you can elaborate.
Did they get it?
Yes, I hope so.
Okay.
But talk about it in terms
of... So the term or the acronym BYOD, it's Bring Your Own Device. So currently, you know, we all have our own personal devices. You go work for a corporate, they want to ensure that they have the right security, etc. So they allow people to bring their own devices, but the companies, they want to they want to be able to protect their data as well. So this is where BlackBerry come to play here. You know, this is what we include or introduce, what we call it, the MDM or the EMM, the Enterprise Mobility Management, to be able to manage multiple devices or cross-platform. So you'll be able to have, as the IT administration, be able to administrate BlackBerry, Android, and as well iOS from the same console in there. So to be able to allow you to have you know, your own device, but at the same time, the company have access to their data. should you leave the company, what have you, their data on your device, they have access to wipe their emails, their attachment, their this, and then you get to maintain and your security, your private, your personal information there. So this is where BlackBerry's strengths come to play by providing the solutions in the enterprise mobility management and in the enterprise mobility requirements as well be able to provide security, because data is now very crucial for companies and enterprise to be able to ensure that their data is protected. There's some IT policies as well, be able to control and manage and all that stuff. So this is the concept of bring your own ID. So obviously there is not everybody implementing this. This is not for everybody. It's very important. It's important to ensure that you have the proper security. Otherwise, it'll cause some breach of privacy and breach of as well intrusion and malware intrusion as well, and impacting some of the data, and as well might have some implication on some regulatory requirements and legal and all that stuff. So this is why this type of solution is very important to be implemented at the corporate level, and having the right security and the right information and be able to have the right management on that. And that's where BlackBerry introduces or have the enterprise. We have introduced the what we call BlackBerry Enterprise Solution, and the BlackBerry Enterprise Solution 10, and then we have talked about the future of BlackBerry Enterprise Solution 12, which is combined the previous and the future, which is a combined BS5 and BS10 in one console, be able to manage as well cross-platform with that.
So this is activated right now.
So
enterprise is
yes, the BS is there, the BS10 is there, and we announced about future BS10, which is enhance the efficiency, be able to provide the companies to be able to develop an enterprise-grade applications. Will be able to deploy them easily on the BlackBerry devices and other devices as well, to be able to help manage that and be able to provide the reliability and be able to manage different platform from the enterprise in the same console there.
So to handle the security issue, it's always server-based, or
yes,
maybe online, to use the certain applications for a company.
Correct. So enterprise is very important. Data needs to be protected, and then as well, this is where security becomes a huge and big factor in that regard.
How do you think your sales model is going to be changing?
In what way?
Do you think, are you going to continue, because you have a lot of competition today, and people want certain services, certain technologies?
Yeah. So it's very important to note that BlackBerry provide an end-to-end solution. It doesn't provide bits and pieces there. So everything provided on that. So this is what differentiates BlackBerry, that we're able to provide, the hardware, the software, the infrastructure, the application as well, be able to provide an enterprise secure applications, and then be able to manage that environment as well, and continue to help and build the BBM. We talked about it enough. I think it's in terms of building communities, becomes the premier private social networking and messaging there. So all these differentiate and are unique and specific to BlackBerry, and be able to, everybody is known about, uses BlackBerry, understand that when you fly, when you get off a plane, you turn your BlackBerry on, it starts flashing, delivering your email to you, your BBM, your messaging. So it keeps you connected and deliver to you with reliability and efficiency everywhere you go. Secure, privacy, immediacy, etc. with the BBM. So again, if we talk about the key aspect of that, communication, collaboration, productivity, and all this aspect is very important for the consumers as well.
Now, we were just talking about BYOD,
yes,
your own device. What are the advantages of a certain?
The advantage, you are a consumer, you come and go into work, and you have your personal data, you have your contact information, you get your pictures, you get multimedia, files, etc. So you get to keep all your information there, and you get to use the corporate email in your device, and you'll be able to apply on the device the corporate policies and secure their data, but you still, and they have no access to your personal information, and you continue to enjoy having your data and personal data and corporate data on the same device.
So it makes it easier for people to
definitely
just go to work,
make it easier for people, and make it easier for corporation and enterprise companies in terms of in terms of cost, in terms of management. Rather, they have to manage two devices, and they get to manage one. They as well be able to have less hardware for them to manage in terms of managing all these devices from small number of servers or consoles.
And certainly people feel more comfortable with their own devices. Yes.
Basically, yes. And then you don't get to really make them use different devices that they don't want.
Even the productivity can be even increased.
Definitely.
Yes. We'll go to the fourth report.
Okay.
Or fifth report, if I remember correctly, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. We are talking about, of course, BlackBerry and smartphones and the advancements in these technologies. We are joined here with Mr. Mohammed Al-Mifleh, who is the Senior Director of Product Management and Services for BlackBerry in the Middle East, Turkey, and North Africa. What are the latest, maybe, cell phones and options for people who are looking for something like BlackBerry?
Yeah, so I think it's very important. The smartphone market and device business is a big market. Consumers continue to always to look for the latest and greatest. They like the gadgets, they like new devices. So as I mentioned, that with BB10, that's kind of taken us to the next transforming the company and providing, in terms of productivity, center of the providing all these devices is productivity.
I think we only have maybe a minute left for the show. Do you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, like I said, BlackBerry is transforming itself. We turning the company around, focus on our strength in terms of the business aspect of that with the enterprise. Obviously, this statement does not contradict our focus on consumers. We need both. There is a market for both. And at the end of the day, Professional is a consumer. And stay tuned with a lot of good news from BlackBerry. Don't lose faith, and we trust our loyal BlackBerry customers, and we continue to serve them and provide all the features and services they want.
Perfect. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, Mr.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks.
I would like to thank everybody for watching today, and to thank our director for the show, Mr. Yazid Al-Udan, and to thank everybody again for watching, and we'll see you next week, inshallah.